I'm Jen. This is a 60-minute slow flow, and it's going to be another beautiful day. So let's do some yoga. I'm going to have you start on your mat in child's pose, and I'll do this whole practice with you as well. So you can always take a look at the screen if you're not sure of any of the poses. You can kick off your practice with some steady breaths through your nose. Now bring yourself up into a tabletop position. Cat pose. Tuck your chin, round your back up in the middle, and clear all of your breath out right here. Cow. Look forward, allow your tailbone to tilt upward. Cat. Just take your time, really slowly rolling through this spinal movement. Cow. Cat. Breathe out. And curl your toes under. Press yourself back into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high behind you. Take a breath in. And step forward to the top of your mat, both feet. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward. Split your feet out wider and let your head hang heavy. You can interlace your hands together behind your low back and pull your knuckles up and away from your body. Take a few breaths here. And release your bind. Halfway lift, take a breath in. Bow forward and breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward, breathe out. Rise all the way up, reach up, breathe in. Fold forward, exhale. You can heel toe your feet closer together. Halfway lift, take a breath in. Bow forward, breathe out. Rise up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward, breathe out. Rise up, inhale. Pause here. Take a hold of your left forearm and side bend to the right. Center, breathe in. Side bend to the left. Center, take a breath in. Bow forward, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. High plank. Lower all the way to your belly as you breathe out. Cobra, lift your chest just a bit. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your left leg, breathe in. And step your feet forward to the top of your mat, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Rise up, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, lower to your belly as you breathe out. Cobra, lift your chest. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift your right leg, breathe in. Step forward to the top of your mat, exhale. Halfway lift, breath in. Bow forward, breathe out. Rise, inhale. Chair pose, exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Settle your hips back and down. Breath. Breathe it out. Take another breath here. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, exhale. Take one breath here. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward into warrior one. Rise, take a breath. Warrior two, exhale. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. High plank, breathe out. Take a breath here. Downward facing dog, left foot, warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your left leg back, breathe in. Step forward to the top of your mat, both feet. Halfway lift, breath in. Fold forward, breathe out. Rise, inhale. Chair pose, exhale. Breath in. Dig down and apart through your heels. Breathe. Your hips, settle them back. Pull up through your arms. Breathe out. Take one more breath here. Fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, breathe out. Breath in. Downward facing dog, right foot forward, warrior one. Rise, breathe in. Warrior two, put a deep bend in your front knee. Reverse your warrior. High plank. Take one breath here. Downward facing dog, left foot forward, warrior one. Rise. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse warrior, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Pike up onto your tiptoes. Clear your breath and look forward. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Rise up, inhale. Chair pose, exhale. Full round of breath. Settle down and back through your hips. And for this last breath in, pull your arms a little higher. Bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, exhale. Take one breath here. Downward facing dog, right foot forward, crescent lunge. Rise up. And bring your hands right to your hip points. Put a little bend into both of your knees and then tuck your hip points upward so you get a stretch feeling in the front of your left hip. You can add a little bit of heat into this just by bringing your back knee a little bit lower towards your mat as you continuously tuck your hip points upward to find that great stretch. Good. Reach your arms straight up. Take a breath in. Horse pose. Cactus your arms and pivot to the side wall. Take a breath in. Settle your hips down as you widen through your knees, squeezing your bum so that those muscles know to engage. Full round of breath. Breathe it out. Take another breath in. Bow forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Lizard. Walk your hands forward to the top of your mat. Can plant your left hand firmly down onto your yoga mat and reach your right arm up for a crescent twist. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Tilt your chest up, pull your top shoulder back. Breathe in, breathe out. Final breath. lizard. Plant your hands inside of your front foot. Really good. Lift your hips high, lift your heels. Step back into downward facing dog. Left foot forward, crescent lunge pose. Rise, take a breath in. Bring your hands right to your hips. Soften up both of your knees. Tuck your hip points upward till you find that pull on the front of your right thigh, right hip. And again, you can add a little bit more heat building to this practice. If you bend your back knee a little bit lower, continue tucking upward through your hip points. Great. Reach your arms up, take a new breath in. Horse pose, cactus, your arms wide. Squeeze your bum and tip your knees open. Take another full round of breath. And one more inhale. Bow forward. Halfway lift, take a breath in. Lizard, hands forward to the top of your mat. Plant your right hand firmly down, left arm up, twist. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Breath in. Tilt your chest a little higher. And that top shoulder, tuck it a little further onto your back. Full round of breath. Breathe out. Last breath in. Lizard. Plant your hands inside that front foot. Lift your hips, lift your heels. Step back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Pike up onto your tiptoes. Clear your breath and look forward. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Bow forward. Breathe out. Rise up. Reach up. Chair pose. Exhale. Take one breath in. Bow forward. Split your feet out wider. And settle yourself here into a deep squat. This is so nice to see all these tiles on my screen, to see all of you practicing with me this morning. Thanks for being here. Steady, just a few more breaths here. And just notice, can you gently use that press of your hands to broaden through the front of your chest? Bow forward, release. Can heel to your feet closer together again. Halfway lift, take a breath in. High plank, breathe out. Take one breath here. Downward facing dog, right foot forward, crescent lunge. Bring both your hands to your hips. Put a little bend into your knees. And then reach just your left arm straight up to the ceiling. Put a little lean to the right. Maintain your steady breath through your nose. And keep gently drawing up through your hip points so that you've got support for your back. And turn back to center, reach your arms up. Horse pose, pivot to the side wall. Take just one full round of breath. One more inhale. Bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Lizard. Walk your hands forward to the top of your mat. And this time we're going to stay and settle into this lizard for a few breaths. Option to bring your back knee down to your mat so that your hips settle a little lower. Great. Curl your back toes under again, lift your knee, lift your hips high up, and step back to downward facing dog. Bring your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Hands to hips. Can add that little bit of bend to your knees. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling and add just a little lean to the left. Reach back up to center. Take both arms up. Horse pose, pivot to the side. Settle low, take a full round of breath, squeezing your bum muscles. One more inhale, bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Lizard, bring your hands forward to the top of your mat. And again, option to settle in a little more here, settling your back knee to your mat, letting your hips sink down and forward. And curl your back set of toes under. Lift your knee, lift your hips, downward facing dog. All right, step your left foot forward. And then walk your hands to the side till you're in a wide leg fold position. You can keep your left toes turned out a little bit more. And you're gonna bend your left knee for a side lunge. And the side lunge can look really different for each person. Some of you may be settled quite low like this. Others may prefer to have your hips up high. And I see that some of you have blocks there in your practice spaces. Feel free to make use of those blocks at any time, especially in these kind of poses if you find that you're jamming into your fingertips or holding your knuckles down or anything like that. That's a good solution for a block. And let's switch sides. Again, you can edit by turning your right toes out just a little bit more and then settle into your side lunge. And walk your hands all the way forward to the top of your mat. Downward facing dog. And lift your right leg up behind you. Bring it forward and wide into a wide dragon pose. You can set your back knee down on your mat, settle that back leg. And then on your front foot, turn your toes out more than your heel so that you may be able to kind of tip that knee off to the side, roll to the outer blade of your front foot. And this is another one of those kind of poses. If you notice that you're jamming a lot in that left hand, it may be helpful to tuck a block underneath your hand or even prop a block up underneath your forearm so that you're not using your wrist. And bend that back knee so that your foot lifts up towards the ceiling. Reach your right hand back and see if you're able to take a bind here. You could capture your heel or wrap your hand around your ankle or foot. This may be kind of a substantial feeling stretch on the front of that thigh. So you can use your breath as a tool to stay with it, steady breath. And if it feels like too much sensation or pressure, you can always release the bind. Gently with yourself, release the bind if you've got it. Readjust back up to your fingertips and just shift your hips straight back into a half splits for a moment. Walk your hands forward again. Move into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg back behind you. Sweep it forward. Take it out wide off onto the floor or the edge of your mat. Wide dragon. So front foot is turned out a bit. Roll towards the outer blade of your front foot. On here, bend your back leg. Reach your left hand back. Option to take a bind. Carefully release. Half splits, shift your hips back. Move your hips forward again, downward facing dog. And from here, rock forward into high plank. Bring your knees down to your mat and lower all the way to your belly. You're going to turn your face to the right. Cactus your left arm out to the side and roll your right hip up. return to center. Switch sides. Come back to center. Plant your palms next to your rib cage. Press yourself up into tabletop. Take a moment here, cat-shaped back, tuck your chin, round up. Tabletop. And from here, choose how you'll set up for your version of pigeon. So you can bring your right shin forward into a half pigeon, or you can take any other comfortable form of pigeon pose. That may look like seated or reclined. You choose what suits you best. Switch to the other side. Make your way onto your back now. And take your knees in towards your chest and tip them to the right for a twist. Twist to the left. Come back to center and take your legs up the wall or fish pose. If you have a block or any props to support you, this would be a great time to use those. in a comfortable seated position now. Settle right in. Close your eyes or set your gaze low. And let your body be still enough that you can just tune in to the feeling of your breath as it moves through. Notice this breath. You can choose to continue this seated practice or rest in Shavasana at any time. attention back to your breath. And if you're resting, turn to one side. And we'll meet together seated. You can plant your palms right together at the center of your chest or to your brow. Complete your practice today with a full round of breath in and out. We honor one another. We share. Namaste.